Welcome to jmc6000. In this week, I have another vehicle, and this is what we're going to be doing. We're actually going to be doing a family review on a bunch of three-row SUVs leading up to the big reveal that I have coming, that I have custom ordered. This is not it, but this is another one. I have a special request to actually review this vehicle, our family to review this vehicle. This is the 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander. And let's go around it. Right now it is pretty windy and rainy outside, so I wanted to bring this into the JMC garage and actually do a review on this vehicle. The color is actually called Blueprint Blue or Blueprint something. Anyway, we'll look at that, the window sticker here in a little bit. But as you can see, we have this massive front end on this limited Grand Highlander. Radar sensor right up front here beyond the Toyota symbol. You got a camera up there. You do have LED high beams, LED low beams. The Limited does come with an LED daytime running light and an LED turn signal. If you go with an XLE or lower grade trim of the Grand Highlander, you actually get incandescent bulbs up front, and the only daytime running light is the low beam. Unfortunately, they don't have the same lighting signature across the board, but that's all right. The Limited does come with LED fog lights, which are right here. It does not have, oh, maybe it does have a functional arrow. Nope, it doesn't have a functional arrow curtain right here. It's kind of blocked off. So, but you do have this massive grille on this Limited here. And let's go around the side for the tire setup. Now, the Limited does come with these 20-inch tires. In fact, they're 255 R20s riding on Continental tires. As you can see here, again, it's hard to see in my garage, but this is the Grand Highlander. Now let's look in the back, and then I'll show you the window sticker, and then we're going to do the family review. This is the back of the Grand Highlander. Man, that really comes close to the top of my garage door. Look at that. All right, super. Being that this is Limited, you do get the JBL sound system. You got the subwoofer back here. You do get pretty good amount of space behind the third row, and then underneath here, that's it. There's not a lot of... Oh, what's going on under here? Let's check it out. Oh, we have a spare tire and the sub amp. This is the jack. We have some more tools, and this right here goes somewhere back here to help cover the back end up if you wanted to. Other than that, that's pretty much going on in the back row. There's not a lot of room underneath here, but this is pretty much it. This has one of the biggest behind the third row room in its class. Back here we have LED LED running lights, LED turn signal, LED brake light, of course up there, and of course LED backup lights on this particular model. Again, this is a Limited. Let's go around on the other side, son. We'll look at the window sticker before I bring in my family to do the family review. Awesome. So on the window sticker here, it was raining pretty heavily here. It might start raining again. This particular vehicle totals out to $54,247. It does have a couple options on it. Wow, I'm bleeding. Awesome. It does have a couple options on it, but as you can see, mileage is 22 or 20 in the city, 26 highway, 22 around town. This gets right bang on its mileage. I was averaging on the highway going about 75 miles an hour, right about 26 and a half, almost 27 miles a gallon. So not too shabby coming out of this 2.4 liter turbo. In fact, let's pop the hood. The Highlander cut. Can't believe it. All right, let's pop the hood. And underneath here, we have the 2.4 liter turbo inline 4 by Toyota, direct and port injected, hooked up to an 8-speed automatic. As you can see, this engine, pretty much just as you see it, it sits down in there pretty far, which is pretty cool. The horsepower, I believe, is 278. Torque is a little over 300 pound-feet. Engine oil takes 0W20. You have the turbo sitting back here. You have the air filter right up top here that goes back to the turbo. And then it shoots out of the turbo right here. And I believe this has a air-to-air intercooler, if I remember correctly. I may be wrong. It may have an air-to-water intercooler. And you know what? It does. I'm so sorry. It does. And here it goes to separate coolant tank for the air-to-water intercooler. And one of them is for the engine. The other one is for that So yeah, it actually does have an air-to-water intercooler. Does not have an air-to-air, and then it comes out of the air-to-water intercooler into the intake, and then goes into the engine that way. So pretty cool air-to-water intercooler on this thing. I didn't know that. That's different from, I believe, what's on the trucks. But yeah, 2.4 liter turbo. Kind of easy to get the things under here. You pop this off. You got a little film cover, as you can see. You got spark plug, the coils up top there, and direct injection up top there. So awesome. All right, there we go. Pop that on just like that, and then we're going to shut this up. Now I'm going to bring in my family, and we're going to do the family review. That was pretty loud. Hey, the sun's coming out. All right. So, you know what? Give me the fan, give me the camera, and then we're going to go ahead and... All right, guys, go in there as you would like to go in there, or how you would, and we'll go from there. Family review. Malachi, you're going to get in the way back? Yeah. Or you can get, you have to, yeah, lift that up. There's a button. All right. Now, before you put that back there, I'm going to get a shot of Malachi in the way back there. Yep. All right, so these seats, I believe they're all the way back, right?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. They are
okay.
All the way back.
There's some here to like make them go.
That's because I believe it is the lever.
Oh, you can really go all the way back. As far as the fore and aft is probably all the way back, not the backrest. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, as you can tell with my daughter sitting there, that the middle and that outboard passenger one is connected. You can't separate the middle, so it doesn't have true captain chairs.
You probably can, you know, you just take a knife.
Oh, we're not going to do a knife.
No.
Awesome.
No.
So I'm going to go ahead and get a shot of my son back here. How's it feel back there, Malachi?
It's nice. I have a bit of feet room and leg room.
Okay.
And
so it's not too bad back there. Better than the GMC Acadia last week.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe, yeah. I don't think she remembers.
She does.
It's okay. It was the white GMC. Yes. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Anything, does this be good for families, a Grand Highlander? Yeah or nay?
Yeah.
If you're expecting room, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of room for families and their junk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just know that I'm
All right. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate the family review here. Now we're going to go inside and we're going to go ahead and do an interior review, and we'll go from there. All right, inside the 2024 Grand Highlander. Again, we just did the family review where we reviewed the third and second row. Now I'm up front here, and I want to go over my likes and dislikes about this Grand Highlander, and a couple things I wanted to kind of touch upon. Again, this is the limited version. I wasn't able to snag an XLE. I would have loved to snag a little bit lower version, but even those, they kind of start pretty high for even just a base version, or an XL or XE or SE, whatever the base version is called. Anyway, but let me kind of go over a few things that I like about the Grand Highlander. Number one has to be the interior. I think it has plenty of room inside. It actually has a nice quality feeling looking interior. Very much reminds me in here of the RAV4. I know the outside has elements of the RAV4, but in here, very much reminds you of the RAV4. Big chunky knobs for the climate control. You got a decent sized screen here. This runs the Toyota latest, their latest connected services system, where you got wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay. So that's nice there. Of course, you can see Android Auto is hooked up. You know, we can go back to the Toyota system, Experience Drive Connect. We're not going to go through this, but plenty of other reviewers and different ones have went through this, so I'm not going to belabor that point. I've done that plenty of times. And we have some decent quality stitching on here. It's somewhat soft on the dash here, and some areas down here it's nice and padded. So the interior really has a nice quality look and feel to it. There are some harder plastics like up here, but other than that, I mean, the door panel is nice and soft. You got some soft touch right here. This is somewhat padded up top. I wish it was a little bit softer. And we got some plasticky fake wood. It doesn't look bad, but you can definitely tell it's cheap wood. It's fake wood. Anyway, another like that I have for the Toyota Grand Highlander has to be the drive adaptive cruise control drive system. It actually works really well. This has lane centering that actually works well, and it's actually pretty intuitive on how to use it. Of course, Toyota has always been that way. I believe this has the latest of Toyota Safety Sense. I think it's like a 3.0 or something similar to that, but it's really intuitive, really easy to use, and I like the intuitive controls in the Highlander. Like when you get in, you know exactly where things are. It's exactly easy to adjust things. It's very easy that way. And then third like I have for the Toyota Grand Highlander has to be, I would say, the powertrain. It delivers decent fuel mileage for what it is, and it has plenty of power. I mean, this 2.4 turbo, this isn't a hybrid. This isn't the Highlander, the Grand, or the, whatever they call that. I think it's, I forget what it's called, but something Max. Maybe someone can correct me in the comments, but anyway, this isn't the turbo hybrid either, but this is just a regular 2.4 turbo, and it's actually pretty decent in power, pretty decent in fuel economy, and it's relatively smooth sitting here at idle. So yeah, plenty of storage in the glove compartment here, or not glove compartment, in the center console here. We got some 12-volt outlets. We got some USB all the way around. We got decent storage, you know, glove box here. We got some storage up top here. So again, they really thought about the storage front here, and this one doesn't have the pano sunroof, but still pretty nice for what it is. Anyway, so let's go over my dislikes here in the Grand Highlander. Number one dislike has to be the firm seats. Again, this is the limited, but the firm seats, I mean, they're not very squishy. They got kind of a firmness to them. I had a hard time adjusting myself in the seat because they are quite firm for what they are. So that's a number one dislike I have, is I wish the seats were a little bit softer, especially in the third row. It's like sitting on cardboard. It's like, ugh, it's not very comfortable at all. Anyway, so a little bit of a firm seat. Number two dislike of the Grand Highlander has to be, take it or leave it, but I'm not a big fan of the looks. Looks are subjective, I understand that, but the front end is kind of, I mean, people say this kind of has like a grown-up kind of a RAV4 look. That may be true for the sides and the back, but the front is kind of like, ugh. It has this chrome bar that goes from the headlights all the way to the center, just wraps around the whole front. And I know it's trying to connect the whole front end, but it looks like it has a mustache. The front end looks like it has a chrome mustache. I can't stand that. That's just off-putting and ugly to me. It's just weird. Anyway, but that's just me. That's just me. I know some people may like the way this thing looks, but again, just a dislike for me. And final dislike that I have for the Grand Highlander has to be the price. Again, this is a limited 55 grand. You do get a lot for the money, but I mean, even the XLE and some of the lower ends, they start to, like, with options, you can go upwards of towards, you know, the upper 40s, and it's just like, come on, Toyota. I mean, I know this is the Grand Highlander. I know it's the biggest and baddest of three-row SUVs, but come on, pricing on to reflect a little bit of, you know, we're not, I don't know. I know inflation and all that, but pricing can be adjusted a little bit better. But that's just me. Now, let's get into the drive portion, where I'm going to talk about how it drives, how it feels behind the wheel, everything else, and all that about the powertrain and everything else. So please stay tuned for that. Again, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Appreciate you guys. As we go into the drive portion, let me know other three-row SUVs you want my family to review. You know, I have a couple that are coming up, but let me know some other ones that you want to review and you want to see here in the next weeks that are to come, until we get our own personal three-row SUV in that I have on order. Can't wait to reveal what that is. So again, stay tuned for the driving portion. Thank you. All right, jmc6000 here behind the wheel of the 2024 Grand Highlander Limited. And a couple things I want to say as I go up my hill here. Going to bring my cruise control speed up to where it needs to be. All right. There we go. Now, a couple things I want to say as I go on my hill here. One of the things I want to remark, and I said this in my likes and dislikes, is that the drive is very smooth. The powertrain, the 8-speed automatic, the 2.4 liter, all pretty smooth, and appreciate that. The adaptive cruise works well. I got lane centering on, and the lane centering seems to be doing pretty well. I do enjoy that. A couple things to note about the drive. The suspension, even with the 20-inch rims, it's a pretty good drive. It's not very, how should I put it? It's not very stiff. It's very bouncy, very floaty. Nothing really to remark there. The 2.4 has decent power. It's not going to set the world on fire. I think people have said 0 to 60 in this thing is about 7.8, almost 8 seconds, 0 to 60. But it has decent power for what it is, and it seems to be pulling up this hill just fine, and no issues. I think it downshifted once. One of the things I will say though is this thing drives as it, how should I put this? It drives as it looks, and what I mean by that is it looks big, it drives big. As I'm going around these corners, it's very wallowy in the corners, and of course the object of this SUV is not to be a canyon carver or anything like that, but it drives as it looks. It drives big, it looks big, it drives big. So don't expect to have amazing driving dynamics in this Grand Highlander. The steering feels pretty direct, pretty good. I have no complaints about the steering, but it just drives as it feels. It just drives big. And the seating, again, I wish the seats were a little bit more softer. The stereo system and the JBL stereo system actually has a pretty good sound to it. I don't have an issue with the JBL sound system. And that seems to do pretty well. But other than that, nothing else to report here. I love the auto wipers. Those work pretty well. I've been hitting some rain. As you can tell, the clouds behind me. Been hitting some rain, and the auto wipers seem to do really well. I love the digital gauge cluster presentation. A really good amount of information. And of course the screen there. Other than that, nothing to report here. Just a pretty good driving family SUV. Again, I don't expect a lot from the Grand Highlander. If you want something that's going to be engaging for driving, I would say you want to go for the CX-90. You want to go for maybe the Explorer, because that's rear-wheel drive based. There's a couple others out there, maybe even the Grand Cherokee or even the Dodge Durango. But you know, for just a family hauler with a lot of room, this really fits the bill, and it's a good unit, a good vehicle. So that's pretty much all I got to say about that. You guys be blessed. Catch you on the next one. Let me know if other 3-row SUVs you want me to review. I love to bring those, and love to bring their family review about those 3-row SUVs. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I upload every single Wednesday morning and every single Saturday afternoon with JMC Garage Talk. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Catch you on the next one.